80% of the CEOs believe they're going to increase the use of the interim model.
Okay, so Olivier, can you tell me, why do companies use executive firms?
In fact, companies have to face many changing conditions at the moment. So, in fact, it's to develop their agility. If you think about political turmoil, economic volatility, or even the pressure on the commodities pricing, it's a very fast pace of change, and to adjust, the companies have to find ways which are not into their traditional 3-year plan. It's been a long time that a 3-year plan never lives longer than the first year, and think about a management team to adjust with their permanent staff the way they can answer all of this. It's just not possible. So the sweet spot of the interim management is to bring at the right time, in emergency criteria, experienced people that will handle the immediate phase that the companies can envisage.
Okay, and what about your team? How would you kind of characterize 2015 for you guys?
In 2015, that was a good year with growth on local assignments and also international assignments. But if there's one thing that was a little bit surprising, was the assignments in Africa. Lots of them, to the point that now we joined a group of French-speaking investors in Africa, and we are going to open offices in Africa in 2016.
Excellent, sounds good. Now, what about in terms of trends in Europe? What are you seeing? What are you kind of envisaging?
We're part of a European alliance named TMG, Transition Management Group, which has partners to start with in German-speaking Switzerland, also in Austria, Germany, Spain, Italy. So that gives us a good footprint to see what's happening in Europe. And we've made our end-of-year survey of 2015, and we got the results. And it's interesting to see the trends in Europe. Namely, there's 72% of the company CEO, and we surveyed 400 of them, which are at ease with the interim management model. 55% of them have used it. And what's interesting is to see how they use it. So they use it 1/3 for project transformations, 1/3 for international development, and 1/3 for the rest. On this European survey, one striking number was the French guys answering that 80% of the CEOs believe they're going to increase the use of the interim model. That's way above average. Don't know if it's due to the economic conditions of France, which are a little bit special, or the overburdening labor laws. That's what we've seen on this European survey.
Okay, and what about in terms of Switzerland? Do they use interim executive managers the same way?
Yes. Now, Switzerland is similarly aware, with 78% of the Swiss CEOs which are aware of the interim management. 63% of them use it regularly. And there's one number that was really different from the European one, is the reasons why they use it. 54% was on project management. It's 20 points above the European average. And that echoes your own interview with Philippe Monnier, where he said, in Switzerland, the companies are here to make money, not save money. It's all a question of driving value by the transformation projects. That's really the one thing I would remember from the 2015 survey on Switzerland. Now, what pains are fixed by the interim management, typically implementation of information systems, and a rising number for cost saving and downsizing. Obviously, the Swiss franc, since January 15, has put the economy under pressure, and the need to regain competitiveness is there. So that's what we can see from the Swiss survey. Other points specific on Switzerland, the assignments may be a little bit shorter than the average in Europe. 80% are below 12 months, the average is 6 to 8 months. And they come to interim firms for half of the cases. on par with their own personal network and recommended third parties recommendations.
Well, you've mentioned a lot of different interesting findings there, but what about in terms of the financial sector? What are you envisaging for 2016?
Okay, so I don't have a crystal ball to give you the FX rates, and Dukascopy can do that. What I can say is that we have dedicated pools for finance functions, which is one of the key functions. So whether treasury experts, whether for financings, for the digital fintech, we have specialists of the electronic payment sector, which are demanded, and also obviously the M&As. The M&A activity is a big consumer of interim manager, whether in due diligence or in post-merger acquisition integration phase. I'm not sure how will be 2016 for M&A. There was a little bit of a downside in 2015 in Switzerland after the strong Swiss franc again. It took a few months for the dust to settle, and then there were some great deals. Having said that, there are piles of cash waiting to be invested on Swiss companies, as evidenced by the large deals of Infront and Swissports purchased by China in the second semester. So I think M&A side 2016 may be a bit higher than 2015.
Interesting. Well, certainly a lot to look out for, but thank you so much, Olivier, for coming in and chatting to us today. A pleasure as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
Okay, well that's all from Olivier and myself for the moment, but keep on clicking back to Dukascopy TV. Goodbye for now.